Good. Oh, the sun. Oh. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, or night, whatever. Whenever you're watching this video, it has been a minute since I've uploaded a video. And why? Well, I build cars for YouTube videos, and things cost money. So I am trying to think of other ways to do videos without costing me a ton of money. So that's today's video. Let's get into it. All right, and so what could we be doing today that doesn't cost us money? And that would be talking about my drift car and everything that's done to it. Now, speaking of money, I also feel like this is really some of the cheapest stuff that you can do to an E36 to have a dialed car and be able to have a good time out there. So if you're looking to be able to get into this pretty cheap and you like BMWs, E36s and 46s are very similar. So stick around and yeah, we're gonna go over everything because I do everything on a budget. So we're gonna start off with the exterior here. Now, as far as all these things that I'm talking about on the exterior, none of this stuff is necessary for going drifting or anything like that, but this is a rig check, so we got to check over the rig, you know what I mean? So yeah, flip the camera around, get into it. As far as the body kit goes, I have a click tuning front lip over here, pretty standard on the E36s. We have K2 Industry side skirts, pretty standard, the JDM style. And then for a rear bumper, it's just a 3 Series rear bumper, and then I chopped up another 3 Series rear bumper and made a lip out of it. So I've been doing that kind of like all season, and I like the look of it, and I think it just, you know, helps out. Car really needs a refresh right now. This thing is so hammered, but moving on. Now for the front wheels, these are Circuit Sport CSF1s. I think I'm saying that correctly. They're like a Gramlite 57 DR rep. I throw reps on this thing because I just keep destroying wheels. So maybe one day if I get some cool wheels like on a good cost, then I'll put them on this thing. But for right now, these work. I think the car looks good on them, so whatever. They are a 17x9 plus 22. They are 5x114. I have a Tech 53 5x120 to 5x114 adapter. And then for the steer on this bad boy, I have something's probably no one ever heard of, which I have to look at it because I don't even remember the tire name.
One eternity later.
The tire is a 215/40 Tex, I think is what it was. I'll try to like load up a link up here, but either way, it's a 220 tread wear tire. So it's a grippy, nice grippy steer, and they're like 70 bucks a tire. So a little cheat code for everybody looking for cheap steers out there. And then for the rear, right now I have 18s on it, but I usually run 17s depending on the track. Now, like I said, depending on the track. So sometimes I do run 18s because I can get a little bit more wheel speed out of second gear and whatnot. And I usually run a 215/40 on the rear, like a full A, or lately I've been running 235 Kendas, which have felt great and they last a long time, so I like that. But yeah, I think that's everything on the exterior. Oh, over fenders. I guess you guys might want to know that. The fronts are just Big Duck Club over fenders, and then the rears are a JP fiberglass cheap rear over fender. And I'm not gonna lie, those things are sick. They have taken so much abuse over the last 2 seasons. I've caved in my quarter panel with those on, and no damage to the over fender at all, so that's pretty sick. But I think now I'll pull the car in, we'll put it on a lift, and then you guys can see the angle kit, the suspension, and things like that. Okay, I lied. It's really nice outside, and I think I can get a good view of everything on the ground, so we're just gonna stay outside with it. So anyway, on to the drivetrain. So this car originally started out as a 318 4-cylinder car, and it got an entire 328 drivetrain front to rear. I did not do that. I bought the car like that. And yeah, so anyway, moving on. This is like the 4th motor in my ownership. They just like to blow up because I like to beat on them. So yeah, that's fun and all. But anyway, it's an M52 M50 intake manifold. It's got pink injectors and a Castle Performance tune. I know there's no air filter on it right now, and that's just because I was working in here and I just took it off and I just didn't feel like putting it back on for the video, so that's why there's no air filter. I swear I run one. Other than that, I'm trying to think if there's really anything that's like out of the norm. For coolant reservoir, we use Mark IV coolant bottles and put them up here. It's like the highest point in the engine bay, and it works nice. Clutch fan, I like those, and I run an auxiliary fan on a switch for the front, so it doesn't like overheat hot lapping and then sitting in grid. Like an Amazon catch can, and that's really it. There's really not much going on with the engine. Like it works. I got an upgraded rad and upgraded cooling parts, you know, but that's really it. It's super simple. Just upgrade the cooling system and you're good to go. Moving on, question I get asked most when I'm at drift events and things like that is what angle kit I'm on. So the angle kit that I'm on is CNC 71 blocks, and then I have E36 lower control arms that are extended 1 inch, and E36 tie rods that are just cut down, and BC Racing coilovers, and that is it. Well, and with the BCs you get adjustable top hats, but that is it. I like to keep it super simple. This way I can have extra parts at the track very cheap. I don't have to spend $1,000 for a good angle kit, and then, which, I'm sorry, I shouldn't even say a good angle kit, because this is a good angle kit. I don't have to spend $1,000 for an angle kit and then another $1,000 on top of it to have spare parts. I can do all this extremely cheap. Oh, and besides that, adjustable SLR lollipops. That's it. That's probably one of the most expensive parts in it. But if you have a homie that welds, this is a really cheap setup for you. But if you don't know anybody that welds, that part can get maybe a little expensive with welding the LCAs, but luckily I have a lot of friends that weld, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I just like to keep it simple. So other than that, we'll move on to the rear. Okay, and on to the rear. This is very simple. I actually just had to replace the entire rear because of last drift event. I broke a lot of things. Actually, let's go back in time and show you some clips from the last drift event and me breaking a lot of things. So, movie magic.
Flashback.
Oh boy, we done did a number on this bad unit right here. I'll tell you what, goddamn. What you guys say about that?
Muffed.
End of flashback.
All right, hope you guys enjoyed those clips. But anyway, on to the rear end. So now the rear end has a brand new subframe in it with Rev 9 teal bushings. I currently have a diff cover in it with rubber bushings in the ears, but I might change that. I'm just using those to be able to get to me to a drift event this weekend because I cracked my old diff cover in all the carnage from last drift event, so that sucked. And then on the front, I have a Durlin front diff bushing with the bolt mod, whatever you want to call it. Just the eBay camber arms, which I have a video on. CNC 71 trailing ring brackets, which I have a video on. And a 391 welded diff. think, oh, there's reinforcements in the rear, but I think that's it. I don't think anything else is real special back there. So again, very simple, very easy. The only thing that I wish that I would have done to the rear end while I had it apart, but it just ran out of budget, was mono trailing arm bushings. Those are really good, and I highly recommend them. I just ran out of money and didn't get to put them on. So there's that. So I would say probably the most unbudget part about this whole thing would be the roll cage, which you don't necessarily need if you're just starting out. So everything else has been pretty cheap and pretty standard so far, so just don't mind this. If you can find a car with a cage for a good deal, then that's sick. That's basically what I did, but don't mind that. Energy passenger seat. We got some carpet in here, some floor mats from a buddy's brand. We have a PNC or PMC, I forget. Chassis mount shifter, Condor trans mount bushings, and a handbrake that I also don't remember the name of, but there is a video on my channel that you can go down and watch. And this is, again, super simple. It's an inline setup. I have a Willwood 0.75 master on it right now, which is the wrong master. It should have a 0.625. I have one in there. I just threw this one in so I could make it to an event during the season and never changed it. So anyway, if you have stock calipers in the rear and you're running an inline setup, or if you're just using stock calipers in general for your dual caliper setup, you should run a 0.625 master, because they'll actually lock the calipers with ease. The 0.75 doesn't work the best, but I make it work. For the driver's seat, this is a Recaro seat. It's real. Now that I got extremely cheap, or there wouldn't be a Recaro seat in here. There would be a matching NRG, so that's sick. Steering wheel, pretty standard, and that's it. There's really not much going on. We got switch panels and stuff, and custom wiring, and needs cleaned up. Don't look at that, but very simple. This is exactly what I use to drive, and I like it. It's fun. It's a good time. It's cheap. That's like the best part about it, in my opinion. I'm just a normal guy that has bills and everything else like everybody else in the world. Dogs, and doing it all by myself. No sponsors, none of that, just working. So anybody can do this, really. This is a very simple setup. Like I said, if you really take out the cage and just do the front angle, coilovers, some bushings and stuff like that, you're what, 1,500 bucks in, something around there, probably 18. And you don't even need the BCs. Like, you could cheap out on that, so you could save yourself some money. You guys get it. You can find a 328i, E36, E46 for sub 4 grand, 325s cheaper than that, and still have a sick time in those and get down and go driving. So that is the rig check on the E36 for anybody that cared. Hopefully we will be starting back on the 240 here very soon. I just gotta get some things in order, and I know it looks buried over there and neglected, but trust me, it's not. We've done some things on it, and the SR over there is very close. I am waiting on a few more things, and then we're gonna start finishing up the rest of the motor, which I might record. If you guys do want to see that, you can let me know. If you guys enjoyed the rig check, also let me know down in the comments. I have a ton of friends that may be interested in doing rig checks on their cars too, so we can see some different options out there and the budget option. Maybe some friends that have some crazier cars that are a different budget than mine could go over their cars with us. But like I said, there's not too much that has to go into this, so don't make it complicated. Just go buy a car and throw some stuff on it and go drive. Well, go buy a car, drive it stock, then throw some stuff on it, then go drive. But anyway, I hope you guys like this video. I am trying here. I'm rambling at this point, and see you guys later. Thanks for watching.